Hi, my name is Charan Koshi, and this is another nonprofit operating system video that goes through one of the models or one of the prompts for the content engine. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the blog writing long form content model that's been created. And for this in particular, we're going to start with something that was covered in the blog ideas video that that's in this playlist. So if you haven't watched that one, it would be good for you to hit pause and go back and check that one out, because what we did was we identified some blog ideas for the keywords performing arts organization that provides live theater and kids programming. And so one of the results was 10 tips for getting involved in theater. And so I'm going to copy that actually, and then I'm going to go back to the text generation platform and go into blog writing. And this is honestly one of the most exciting features for me, because long form content writing takes a lot of time for me. So if I had something to edit rather than something to build from scratch, like if I wrote 10 tips for getting involved in theater, it would take me a while. I'd have to think of, what are the 10 tips and how do I want to write that? And so anyway, we're going to use the topic of the blog post in the first, and if you know what that is, if you didn't do the blog ideas one and you just know kind of what you want to create awareness about or what content you want to build, you can throw that in there. The more keywords that you put in, the better for this particular one. So I'm going to put making theater interesting and exciting for kids, benefits to kids of theater, and easy ways to get involved in theater. So we're going to hit generate response, and my commitment to you has always been that I'm not going to edit the outputs that you see on these videos. So are you going to see something that's not awesome? Yeah, absolutely. So this one actually isn't awesome because I was really hoping to have 10 ways to get involved. So this is not a bad result. It's just not as long as I would want it to be. So it says first find and play a musical instrument that your child is interested in. Find a play or musical, sorry, not musical instrument, that your child is interested in. There are many great plays and musicals written specifically for children. So it's not a bad response, but I'm actually going to hit the downvote button because I do want to run this again. And what you will be able to do is consistently rerun this. So, and this is saved, even though you downvoted it, or I downvoted it, it's saved. So you can go back and say, that language that it created around, find a play or musical is really helpful. We might include that in something that we create. So here's the blog post that I was hoping for. Great place for kids to explore their creativity and imagination. Here are 10 tips to get your kids involved in theater. So we've got this, and it gives us the 10 ideas, right? The 10 ways. Now, is this fully baked and ready to go as a blog post? I wouldn't think so at all. So what I need to do now is to say, I like this. So it's already saved. You don't have to do anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first idea and I'm going to create a new response based upon the first idea. Now remember, everything's been saved. So I'm going to create a new response, and my hope here is actually that it will probably give me 10 because that's in the title. But I'm hoping that it kind of fills out, and it does. It fills out more blog writing results. So you've got different ideas. Now, do we love this? Not really. I mean, there's some good kind of ideas here, but I actually would not suggest personally renting or buying DVDs of theater performances. I just personally, this is my thing. Watching theater performances at home is not the same as live theater. So I would delete that from whatever I wrote. But we keep creating some cool ideas here. And so what I actually want to do, I'm going to downvote that one because that wasn't what I wanted it to. And what I'm going to do is eliminate the numbers here. And I'm going to have it generate a new response. Oops, it did have that 10 kids. This is a nice thing in a platform like this that doesn't have limits on how much you can generate. You could keep doing this ad infinitum. And now we've got something that's really, I think, a whole lot better for getting kids engaged in theater. So these are all comments, ideas that I think fit nicely into that first tip. So what I would do is take this content and I'd go back to what we created, this 10 tips for getting involved in theater, and I'm going to click on this and I'm going to add that section to number 1. So now I've got this kind of full idea baked in around number 1 of starting young. So I'm going to edit this. I'm going to, take out the things that I don't like. Maybe I'm going to highlight, find a theater camp, and get rid of teach them about stage presence, because maybe I'll use that later. Or I'll take something that doesn't apply here and move it down. It doesn't, you get the idea. There's a lot more work here based upon the ideas that were generated, but you can take this and now edit it for your organization and your tone of voice and be able to put that out. The other fun thing is that with content like this, it might be best to create longer form content, and it can be used on obviously on a blog, but something that's this short, for example, with just 10 ideas would be a great thing to put on social media. So if you're going to put this on Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn, you could very easily throw this out there. And a lot of the platforms love this kind of content. So it would be a great idea to take this, doctor it up a little bit for your organization, and throw that out onto social media with an image of kids at theater camp or something like that. So again, this would never be set it and forget it. That's not the intention of this platform, but it's a great way to get that first draft out and be able to build from there. As always, if you have any questions or feedback, I welcome those at hello@nonprofitoperating system.com.